What is up, guys? It's Vince from Team Too Legit to Crit. Got some spoilers for you from the Rummy Labyrinth booster. Some pretty cool support for a lot of older decks, but also some new stuff for the newer decks, both Pale Moon and Grand Blue wise, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Firstly, Silver Thorns are getting a really nice buff for anyone who liked to play it. I recall, I think it was set 13 is when they really hit their stride, because they were able to play with Venus, or I think Venus was actually set 15 if I'm right. Either way, Venus made able to build the field up. It was really cool. Cross-ride power. Cross-ride's really important back then. But we have Silver Thorn Dragon Tamer Luquier, whatever you want to call it. It has the exact same name as the original from set 3. I'm not positive when she came out, but this card is the exact same name, so if you want to play the cross rides, you can. It's still really nice to have that 13k base if you want to ride. Her ability is in the Soul, actually. Limit Break 4 while she's in the Soul. Soul Blast a card with Silverthorn in its name. At the beginning of your main phase, you can call this card to the rearguard circle, give it 3000 power, and if you do give it 3000 power, it goes back into the Soul at the end of the turn. Her other ability is auto on the Vanguard circle. During your turn, if your G unit with Silverthorn strides, in its original card name strides, choose a Vanguard and it gets the ability of when a unit with Silverthorn and its card name is placed from the rearguard circle from the Soul, this unit gets another 3000 power. So it basically turns your stride into an Upright Lion, one of the probably most important cards in Pale Moon now, for Silverthorns anyway, since it gets a lot of good power. Otherwise, the Limit Break being in Soul is super nice because you can have that cross-ride power, blast her out, blast something, call her out, and then she'll just go back to give you that 13k base. Plus, you can filter it via the starter or the Grade 1 Irina that you're going to just probably loop her in and out for a couple turns, or if you want to call her early as pressure, as an attack, you also get that nice filter. Turns only Silverthorn strides into that Upright Lion. Right now, there's only 2. Right now, you have Mystique Luquier, the original Silverthorn stride. She's got not a terrible ability. When she's on the Vanguard circle, choose 2 of your rear guards, put them into your Soul. As long as you have a Silverthorn or a Luquier heart, and you Soul charge 2, choose 2 cards from Silverthorn in your Soul and call them to rear guard. Really nice with that Upright Lion ability that you get that gives you the +3 per call. So your Vanguard's getting a base 6. If you have an Upright Lion, he's going to get another +6. It wasn't the stride they were hoping for in the beginning because it didn't really call out a lot of cards. It only called the 2, which the Silverthorns can only really build up their field if they stick on the Vanguard at that point. So it was like, oh cool, you get triple drive, which isn't bad, and plus you get to power up. So it's really nice because they have Zelma here, which is basically a Purple Trapezist clone for only Silverthorns, and it's a 7k. So you can get into some really cool shenanigans getting a lot of power if you Soul Charge 2 and then call 2 Zelma out, which will bounce some other cards in and out of the Soul. You'll be getting power on power on power. Hopefully with an Upright Lion on the field when you start this, or he might miss an extra 3k. That could actually be really important, but we did get another Silverthorn stride. This will be Silverthorn Dragon Master Venus Luquier. It is the Venus stride. Once per turn, act CB1 and choose a face-down card in the G-Zone that has the same name as this unit and flip it up. If you have a Silverthorn Heart card, choose any Silverthorn in your Soul and call it to rearguard. Really underwhelming just because you have to only call 1 card. Even though the other one didn't really plus you anything, this one does give you a nice plus. You're going to want to go into Maricisa or maybe Anna, or if you have these cards on the field, because her Generation Break 3 ability is choose 2 Silverthorn rearguards and put them in the Soul when she attacks. As long as you pay this cost, this unit gets 1 critical. So it'll work with the Grade 1 or 2 because when either of them hit, you're able to call something out, and then it's going to want to go back into the Soul anyway. Minusing 2 for a critical isn't too good, but if those cards are going to go away anyways, it's not bad. So you're going to hope that maybe a boosted attack from the Grade 1, or if the attack on the Grade 2 hits, you're going to call out another card that will go away so you can eat it with this. Or, if anything, it works really well with Luquier herself now that she can jump out, be a 13k attacker, and then jump back into the Soul. So it's going to go away anyway. You're going to get your +1 critical. Trying not to minus yourself too hard. It's really good if you can get the right setup for it. You're going to want to play a pure Silverthorn deck, so a lot of Magia cards that are going to go back in the Soul don't work as well because you have to choose 2 Silverthorn rearguards, so Overall, a pretty good chunk of support going to Silver Thorns. Moving on from Silver Thorn support, we have Nightmare Doll support. Finally, they get their own starter in the form of Natalie. Counterblast 1, throw herself into the soul, check top 3 cards of your deck, and put a card into your soul, and put 2 cards in the bottom of the deck in any order. But if you soul charge a Nightmare Doll with this effect, you check top 3 and do it again. Except this time you shuffle instead of stacking them on the bottom. Only Nightmare Doll starter, it's not bad. You can play this if you need the Nightmare Doll name, or if you want to try to filter like Silver Thorns do. Otherwise, most people still play the Grade 3 Searcher for consistency because you don't want to ride Alice. This Nightmare Doll Grade 2, though, on the other hand, is really, really good. Gerda, 9k power. When placed on the rearguard circle, you check top 3, and if there are any Nightmare Dolls in them, you can choose up to one of those Nightmare Dolls and put them into the soul and shuffle the deck. It's deck thinning, it's giving you that consistency to hit some more triggers, plus you can throw an Alice in the deck. It's really, really good considering you're going to call out a lot. Moving on, we have a new Perfect Guard announced, Lovely Companion. Choose a card from your hand, discard it when placed on guard circle. Obviously, you choose a unit that's being attacked and it cannot be hit. It's nice because it's any unit, and that makes it so you can stop Laurel pushes or Dragonic Overlord if you feel like guarding him for that situation. His other ability is a Magia ability, Generation Break 2. When you guard with it, you may Soul Blast 1, as long as you have a Hairy Vanguard. You may pay your cost. If you do, choose a Grade 2 card in your soul, call it. At the end of the turn, that unit goes back. Overall, being able to guard any unit is kind of nice, but the GB2 skill just seems really bad, in my opinion. If you really want to call out like an Interceptor or something, and it's that important to you, just play Hoopmaster. It's an older PG, but it may cost a Counterblast, which Pale Moon struggle to unflip anyway. But you Soul Charge instead of Blast, and then call anything in your Soul to the front row rearguard circle with +5 Intercept, effectively turning any trigger into a G-Guardian, which is really, really cool. But because of Pale Moon struggling with Counterblast, most people are just going to play the unflipping Perfect Guard. Moving on from Pale Moon support, we've got Grand Bleu finally supporting those adorable little bastards, the Ghosties. We've got Leader of Ghosties, Demetria. Auto Vanguard skill, when a rearguard is retired, you may choose any normal unit with Ghosty in its name that is a grade less than this card in your drop zone and superior call it. If you do, this unit loses this ability until the end of the turn, so basically it's a once per turn ability. I don't know why they didn't slap once per turn on it, but it's not amazing just because you're probably going to want to be striding anyways, and depending on what else we get for Ghosties, it might be a good setup. Otherwise, her other ability is when you place her on the Vanguard Circle, Soul Blast 2 Ghosts. It doesn't have to be a Ghostie, just a Ghost on its type of card, which could be multiple units in Grand Bleu. When you do this, you Soul Blast 2 Ghosts, reveal cards on the top of your deck until you get a Grade 1. Choose a Grade 1 card with Ghosty in its name among them, put it in your hand, and then drop the rest. So it's cool for milling 2s and 3s, you might mill some triggers, which kind of sucks. Your best hope is to hit the Stride Enabler, so it's cool for filtering. And the fact that it's just 2 Ghosts, as long as this wasn't like a mistranslation or anything, you can actually Soul Blast Rough She's Banshee. So you can throw her into the soul, get your draws off, and then dump her for the cost. And you're really just going to want to hit Tommy. None of the other Ghosty Grade 1s are too important for you to want to try to filter this hard. Or your entire Grade 1's going to have to be Grade Ghosties, because the moment you reveal a Grade 1, you choose a Grade 1 Ghosty among them. If there isn't, you're just going to mill maybe a big chunk of cards if you don't hit that Grade 1 early, or if you just have really bad luck and you hit that Grade 1 super early and you don't mill at all. And finally, we've got Vampire Princess of Starlight Nightrose. It is the new, G Nightrose. They have Chrono Jet G, Chrono Fang G, the new Alt Mile coming in the trial deck. We've got the new Nightrose, who does actually have Hollow on her, so you can search for her with any other Hollow abilities, or if you want to dump it with Obadiah. Once per turn, GB2 from Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, Soul Blast 1. If another unit gets placed on the drop zone on the rearguard from the drop zone during your turn, you choose a Grade 1 card in your drop zone and call it to the rearguard circle in the same column. So it's cool to get multiple attacks in, or maybe even make full columns for hitting numbers. The fact that it works on the rearguard is really, really important, because you're probably not going to want her as your Vanguard, because the original Nightrose Stride is better. in my opinion anyway. Her other ability is CB1 during your turn. If your G unit strides, you may pay your cost. Put the top 3 cards of your deck in the drop zone, choose a card from the drop zone and call it. If that unit has Hollow, it gets another +3. It's pretty nice to give your units power. You might be able to hit some numbers. The milling is iffy. They're trying to make Obadiah not as good because you might deck out if you stride on this with Obadiah first, because you're going to be milling 6 cards, 3 selected, 3 from chance. The GB2 is really, really great on the rearguard circle. On the Vanguard circle, not so much, because the other Nightrose has that really cool Denalgriffin type combo where you use the G Guardian that retires a unit to call a Ghosty. If you retire the Cannoneer who retires something when he's called, you can use her ability to call it back and effectively snipe an attacker, or something that hasn't attacked yet. So GB2 is not awesome on the Vanguard circle, but on the rearguard it's really, really nice to have multiple attacks, even if it's in the same column. Let's say if you get an Owlgriffin, you can remake your column. Alright guys, that'll be it for this video. Let me know down in the comment section below if you think this legacy support for we got for Silver Thorns and Nightmare Dolls, if you think that'll make these decks relevant again, or if you think it's just kind of legacy support for the sake of legacy support, because the Ghosty card obviously is just for funsies, because you're going to be able to get the Ghosty deck actually going before, and it wasn't really a thing. Otherwise, that should be the majority of the really, really cool spoilers coming out of the Rummy Labyrinth character booster. Otherwise, let me know down in the description down below what you guys think of these cards. What do you think of the new Nightrose backup? Do you think it'll be really important to run 4 and 4 just so you can have that Nightrose name for Negra Lazy? If so, let me hear your thoughts on it, and otherwise, that was it for this video. Remember to rate, favorite, comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Later!